Welcome to your practice. Make sure, please, that you have a blanket or a towel because we'll be working with that today. Find your comfortable seat and get nice and stable, spinning your thighs downward a little bit. And then we're going to interlace our fingers together and then press the palms together in order to fortify today to amplify. So we'll fortify by pressing the palms at heart center. Shine out your fingertips to amplify. And then close your eyes and rest your awareness in the flow and rhythm of your own breath. Locate your exhalation now. And we'll do a little Kapalabhati, it's called, shining skull cap breath. Start to increase your exhales, pulling them in, making them more forcible and clear. Let the inhales be natural, relaxed. Bring your attention to your skull, and then take the next exhalation out nice and smoothly. And then inhale the breath, and we're going to hold for 5 counts. And a gentle exhale. And then we'll sing the sound of Om. Amplify whatever's in your heart today that you wish to grow. It's an intention, or an energy, or a thought. So take a breath in, let your Om be infused with this. Om. You can bow into yourself, and then inhale, we'll come standing. We'll start standing, bringing your feet sitting bone distance, nice and neutral with the base of second toe pointing ahead. Inhale, fortify and strengthen. That fortify means to hug in, right? And to get strong. So working these energies today of fortification and amplification, hug your hips in, hug your shins in. And then inhale, when you're ready, take your left hand on your hip, float the right arm up. Bend the elbow, take the hand behind the head at the base, it's called the occiput, where the skull meets the neck. Then hugging the hips in, make sure they're flowing back a little bit. Tuck your pelvis under so you're getting what's called neutral pelvis, meaning the hips aren't pitching forward and the back and here isn't rounding too much, or the hips aren't pitching back too much and the top of the pelvis too forward, right? So neutral, hips flow back a little, tuck your pelvis under, and you'll get the center of your femur, thigh bone, lined up over the center of your ankle. Then keeping that neutral pelvis, you can stretch over to the side. Deep inhale, smooth, sultry exhale. Feeling and noticing any stretch through the side body. Lift up a little bit more through the left rib cage. And if you want to take the gaze up, press the center of your ear back and do so, or the gaze can stay straight ahead. Then bend your right knee, take it over a little bit more. Last breath, stretch through your top wing, and inhale. Float the arm up. Exhale, sweep 3 times. Arm circles back, the straight arm. Think amplify like an antenna here, shining out. And exhale, hand on the hip. Second side, float the arm up. Bend the elbow, hand on the occiput, the center of the neck and head meeting. At that juncture, center of ear back. When you're ready, hips flow back, tuck the pelvis under so the center of the thigh bone is right over that ankle, and then stretch to the side, to the right. Deep inhale, smooth, present exhale. Stretch your top wing up and lift up through the right rib cage. Just stretch out through the top arm. Last breath or 2. And inhale, reach through that left arm and stretch it back gently like a wave 3 times. Arm circles here. And then exhale, we'll take both arms now. So you can move to the top of your sticky mat if you're not there. You're gonna bend your knees and then stretch your arms and legs straight and exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back, and inhale forward, exhale back. Good. Inhale when you're ready. Stretch the arms out to the side, up and overhead. Grab the right wrist with the left hand. Again, flow the hips back. Zip up on your belly and stretching over, over, over. Then when you're ready, bend the left knee, phase one, or you can stretch the legs straight. And exhale, reach it up. Second side, grab the wrist, lift up, and exhale over the other direction. Deep inhale, smooth exhale. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, we're gonna balance a little bit. So, balancing on your right foot, flow the hips back, tuck your pelvis under. Again, so the center of the thigh is directly over the ankle. There's not a pushing forward or pushing back. And then take your left foot off the floor. Now, if this is tricky for you, walk to a wall and take your left hand on the wall. Or you can interlace your fingers at the center of the thigh bone, ground down through your hip and leg. If you got a little unstable like me, make sure the four corners of your foot is pressing into the earth. And then shoulders back and then squeeze them towards your hips. That fortification, hugging in. Well done, good. Second side, so you're balancing on the four corners of your left foot. Take your right foot off the floor. If there's any wobbliness that feels too unstable, find a wall with that right hand. Left hand on your hip. Or you can interlace your fingers behind the center of the thigh. Hug your hips in. Push, push, push through your standing foot. Lift up through your chest. And then amplify. Shine out through your heart, even as you squeeze your shoulders towards your hips. And hug your hips into center. Last breath here. Nice work. Exhale, release. Inhale, stay where you are at the top of your sticky mat. Rise up. Tone your belly a little bit still. Exhale, bend the knees, bow forward. Arm circles. Inhale, stretch up. Think amplify. Maybe you think about that intention or energy that you're wanting to create right now in your day. And stretch it out those fingertips. Breathe it out. That which we give out, right? We attract. And so feel how it is inside you, that intention, that energy, and you're going to radiate it out, knowing it will come back to you in several fold. Last breath, inhale up, and exhale. When you're ready, bow forward. Touch your two blocks, or you could have two pillows or the floor. Have the knees soft. Make sure the base of your second toes point straight ahead so you keep a width and safety through your lumbar, low back spine. Then inhale, look forward. Exhale, tuck your hips under and bow in. So you're making yourself a little bit like a ball here. And that's a fortification energy. Then amplify. Inhale, stretch your heart forward. Start to straighten the legs if the hamstrings or low back aren't vulnerable, but keep pushing your heels apart. If they are, keep the knees bent and exhale, fold. Two more. Inhale, strong fortified legs. Squeeze above your kneecaps, look forward. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bow and fold. Inhale, when you're ready, take the hands on the hips, let your heart lead the way, rise up, stretch up. Now stay where you are. One more time, grab the right wrist with the left hand, lift your spine, pull your shoulder blades towards your hips and hug your hips in as you start to lean and get that side lateral stretch once again through the whole right side body. This time, bending your left knee, take the foot behind you and see if you can go on the blade. That means the pinky toe side of that foot. If that's too much, you can simply lift the heel up. Deep inhale, smooth exhale, and go the other way. Release the arms, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, grab the wrist, flip the palm. Lifting your spine, squeeze the shoulder blades towards your hips and stretch over. Deep inhale, smooth exhale. You can bend the right knee a little bit. Float the hips over the right foot rather, and find the blade, the pinky toe side of that left foot, and root it down into the floor as you stretch up and out of those hips. Deep inhale, smooth exhale. Good. Inhale, slowly plant the foot down, stretch up, exhale, take the arms back. Inhale, one more time, arm circles, come forward. Exhale, lean back. Now add that knee flexion, bend the knee, inhale, stretch up, and bend knees, and exhale. Good, bow forward once again. And then inhale, you're gonna take the left foot back into a low runner's lunge. Be high on your fingertips, scooch the back foot back, and you could of course be on your back knee if you wish. You could have 2 blocks or props here if you wish. Deep inhale, make the legs strong, pull the feet to center, squeeze above the back kneecap, and squeeze firm those hips in towards one another. Good, come onto the back knee and come into a tabletop position with the right foot back, or you can sweep the right foot back into a downward facing dog as you take the hips high. So 2 places to be, downward facing dog or table position. Either position, make sure your center of wrists are lined up with your outer shoulders so there's enough width for amplifying. But then we still want the complete fortifying. So hug the shoulder blades on the back of the heart. Hug your hips in and squeeze your knees towards center wherever you are, in whichever posture you're in. Inhale, come forward to a high plank position. So you can lean your heart forward from table or leaning yourself forward in plank. Now, try not to let the hips lift up and dip. So the pelvis, you don't want the anterior tilt exaggerated. You want a neutral pelvis. That means the center of the hip, direct line to center of ankle. So hug the thighs in, but tuck your pelvis under and work that alignment, which strengthens the low back. Lift the pit of your belly. And then exhale, come through the knees or not, and find your belly. Inhale, take your arms alongside the body for a breath. Spread your fingers, amplify. Spread your toes, and then fortify. Squeeze your kneecaps, firm your legs, and lift up. We'll do these locust pulses a few times. So come down, and then when you're ready, inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up, spread fingers and toes. Exhale down. Inhale up, tone your belly and amplify. Shine out through your fingertips, shine out through your legs, making the arms and legs stronger. Exhale, hands alongside the chest. Press the top of the feet down. Squeeze above your knees, lift your hips, and rise up. Exhale, when you're ready, come to the hands and knees, and we're going to press back to a downward facing dog, or from the hands and knees, take your left foot forward. If you're in down dog, left foot forward. Deep runner's lunge. As your front knee bends to 90 degrees, if you feel like you want to be on the back knee, go for it. Or you can lift the back leg up. Squeeze above the back right kneecap. Hug and firm the hips in. Take a breath and shine, amplify your heart and sternum a little more forward. Last breath here. Feel how good it is to move and to breathe. And then exhale when you're ready. You're going to press back, hips nice and high, to a downward facing dog. In your down dog, take your feet in a few inches. So it's a shorter dog. Your feet and hands are closer together. Really important that you're pressing through your finger pads, all 10 of them, like little lioness lion claws stalking the night, so the center of the palm lifts and the wrists stay happy. Now lift your armpits up. Feel your upper back move in and the shoulder blades firm on the back. That's fortifying the upper body. And then walk your right foot one step forward. The heel might root into the floor, and that's great. It doesn't have to. We don't want the hips to sashay and turn. That's the key. We're fortifying, hugging the hips in, stretching the outer heels to the floor. Good. Tuck your pelvis under so the right sit bone squeezes to the right heel. And then inhale, walk your right foot back. Exhale, take your left foot one step forward. Good. Squeeze your hips in towards your heels. Try to root both outer heels to the floor. The left one may or may not touch. Maybe the right one may or may not touch, but the action is outer hips hugging in, outer heels stretching to the floor. And you might notice a great stretch through, particularly the lower legs. Take the left foot back. Come to the hands and knees. Excellent. Some of us felt that last one as well through the hamstrings, and that's great too. So wherever you're tight in the back of the legs, you'll feel that in that down dog stretch and play. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a blanket or towel, fold it in half, and we're gonna come into Virasana, hero's pose or heroine's pose. So today it's going to be our knees as wide as our hip points. So we've got these bony protuberances here called the ASIS, the anterior superior iliac spine. And these little processes, these points, so you want as if there's a line imaginarily down to the center of the knee, and that's how wide you want the knees. Then point your toes and walk them wider than your outer hips. Then you're gonna take this blanket or towel and place it behind the knees. And then when you're ready, you're gonna come and you're gonna sit. So your heels are gonna be lined up to the outside of the hips. So you're not sitting on the heels, they're to the outside. You can scooch the hips side to side a little bit, and you can feel a little calf stretch. If you're really feeling any strain through the knee, make this thicker or sit on something like a book or a pillow to take it higher here, and you can scooch like this. Deep inhale, smooth exhale, and then rise up. And then you can take the blanket to the side in front of the sticky mat for now. And then with your own hands, keeping the knees as wide as those hip points in the front of you, make a fist with your right hand. And start at the upper back of the knee. I'm going to show you this way. And you're going to press gently down at the center of your calf muscle, up and down. There are two muscles, the soleus and gastrocnemius, in the lower leg. And they bifurcate and meet right here, the center of the shin. And so see if you can go up and down, and then you can even start to go side to side and knead your calves a bit to the inside of that calf. Oh, it's intense, but it feels good. Breathe more deeply when you feel a tight spot, and then do the other side. Other side. Again, go first up and down to the center, and then go to the outer and then the inner. Yeah. Excellent. Now, we'll go back to the last pose, heroine's pose. It might be that you take your towel or blanket behind the knees again. It might be if you're really flexible in the hips, and there's no vulnerability in the low back as well, you can take the hips to the earth. See how they're to the inner heel? A lot of us, though, will need a prop, something to sit on just to make it not too intense and doable. You don't really want the hips floating, so stay like this. Inhale when you're ready. I'm going to turn and show you this way. You're going to float the right arm up. Hug the right shoulder blade again towards your left hip and stretch over. Take the center of your ear back. Stretch your wing to the sky and maybe take the gaze up, or you can look straight ahead. Inhale, rise up. We'll switch it out. So lift through the sides of the body, particularly on the left. Hand behind the head. Press the sides of the throat back. Maybe gaze up or gaze forward. Breathing as you think of any area that you feel like is being targeted. Deep, compassionate breath and think of that area and breathe, and that will be enough. Inhale, when you're ready, you're going to take your hands back behind you. Bend your elbows. If there's any sensation or strain through the knee joint, you want to get up out of it and place more behind the knees or sit on something higher until you feel no strain. Some of you might feel like, oh, it's getting easier, and then I can take a prop away here and my hips meet the floor. Good. Glide your tailbone forward, stretch your outer knees forward, and start to pull the belly and throat back, lean back. Inhale. When you're ready, you're going to slowly come forward. So walk your hands forward, walk your knees back, and then when you're ready, curl your toes under. We'll do 5 little push-ups here. So again, we don't want the anterior pelvic tilt to be too dramatic here. This is the top of the pelvis is dipping down. Zip up on your belly. This means your core is not engaged enough, and your hips, that'll make them stay tight. Tuck your pelvis under and bend your elbows out to the side, and then exhale up. As you come down, inhale, and notice if the low back tilts and engage the abdominals more. Exhale up. 3 more. Hug your ankles in, fortify. Exhale up. Keep the pelvis tucking under. Exhale up. Last one. Pelvis tucking under. Exhale up. Nice work. Inhale. Take your right foot forward. Fold the left edge of your sticky mat under for Anjaneyasana if you'd like that. Or of course you could take your towel blanket and place it there. Inhale. Float the arms up. And take a simple lunge. If you want more challenge, I'll show you this way. You can bend your left elbow and squeeze the tricep in, and you can even take your right hand and at the center of the palm, press that left elbow and push it down. So from behind, it looks like this. And then you get a deeper stretch through the front of your left hip, that soaz area, but not necessary. Some of us might want to keep our arms straight and amplify in that way. Exhale when you're ready. Slowly come to half Hanumanasana. So flex your right foot. That's called dorsiflexion, drawing the toenails to the shins. Press your hips back. And then exhale, tuck your right hip under and fold. Fortify that right leg. Make it really strong, squeezing above that right kneecap. And then exhale when you're ready. Float the right foot back into a table, or you could walk the knees back and take a downward facing dog. Press your outer heels to the floor and keep the arm bones lifting and the finger pads rooting. And then exhale, come forward to high plank. Float the knees on the floor. Take your left foot forward now, Anjaneyasana. Pad and roll the right edge of your sticky mat underneath the right knee, or take that blanket or towel. And when you're ready, inhale, amplify. Lift your spine and stretch the arms up and out. And then on the next breath or two, fortify a little more. Hug your hips in, hug your thighs in, tuck your front hip under. And if you want to bend your right elbow and take the left palm and press it in, again, it looks like this. I'll mirror you here, yeah? And push down. And then from behind, it looks like this. So the palm faces in. Last breath or two, tuck the pelvis under, fortify those glutes. And then when you're ready, you're gonna exhale back to half Hanuman posture. So you could have your 2 props if you have those, pillows, if it's floor feeling too far away or blocks, or hands can be alongside the front shin. Dorsiflexion, toenails to shins. Inhale, look forward. Amplify, lengthen your spine, which creates health in the diaphragm, and stretch through those intercostal side rib muscles. And exhale, gently, sweetly, with compassion, fold. But do keep that fortification with the toenails on the left shin pulling back. And you'll feel the upper back of the hamstrings, the upper leg tone. And that's it, we're stretching them. So we always want to be toning that which we're stretching, not just stretching. there's too much amplification and not enough fortification, right? There's imbalance. If there's too much fortification and not an offering out, that's imbalance too. We want both. Inhale. When you're ready, you're going to slowly place the hands forward, walk the knees back, and then carefully curl the toes under and lift the hips high. When you're ready, you're going to take your right foot forward into Warrior S1. It can be one step, Warrior 1, or several. We did all that good front hip stretching, calf stretching. Now we're going to do this harder pose. It's Warrior 1, Warrior S1, but it could be called like Warrior 10 or something. It's hard. Back toes angle in about 45 degrees, and your feet won't be as long as you're used to with those Warrior S2s. Bend your front knee, hands on the hips. Stabilize and fortify the pose first. The front knee bend to 90 degrees. Those hip points we talked about, make sure they're pointing straight ahead. And then inhale, float the arms up. Squeeze your hips into center, firm your thighs into center, hug your shoulder blades into center, and all that fortification, you can amplify and stretch out through your fingertips. Exhale, when you're ready, spin your back heel to the sky, frame out your front foot. You can take the right foot one step or several to down dog. Inhale, one step or several, rise up. Again, feet aren't as wide as perhaps you're used to with the other warriors. You can walk the back foot in a little more if you feel tightness through the calf still at all. Right toes angled 45 degrees. So pointing more forward, not parallel to the back edge of the sticky mat. And that position's key because then you'll get that right hip point pointing forward, matching your left hip point. Bend your front knee as deeply as you can. And then fortify the hips. Hug the hips in. Hug the thighs in. And from that plane of strength and hug again, even as you float the arms up, hug the shoulder blades in. And then exhale. Then you'll be able to amplify more. From the fortification grows the amplification. Shine out those fingertips. Shine and push out that back heel even. Last breath. Nice work. Exhale, spin your back heel to the sky. And when you're ready, you're going to press off your back foot, one giant step or several, and come forward. Feet are sitting bone distance. Inhale, look forward, hands on shins, thighs, or on the floor. And exhale, bow forward and fold. Then when you're ready, inhale, hands on the hips, shoulder blades on the back. Let your heart lead the way. Rise up from inside. And then you'll come to a seat. In your seat, you might decide that it feels good to sit on something. So sit on something. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your right foot across the left thigh. If that feels too difficult, take it to the inner shin. Hug in. Make yourself tight like a ball, meaning pull your heels towards your hips and get like a little bird in a nest. If the foot's to the outside of the thigh, hug that foot towards your outer right hip. And when you're ready, inhale, extend your right arm up, lift through the side body. We even stretch that way so you can stretch and lean and glean off of all that side lateral stretching we did. And then exhale, twist it. See if you can take your elbow to the outer left leg above the knee. If that's too much, you can hold the knee and pull it into center. Each inhale, hug the feet and hips in. Fortify. Each exhale, bend the elbows and shine out through your elbows and heart. Amplify. Inhale, come forward, switch it out now. This is called Ardha Matsyendrasana. Pull the feet to the hips. The right foot could be to the shin or to the outer left hip. Inhale, rise up through the left arm and stretch over to the right for a breath. And then exhale, either hold the right knee or hook the elbow to the outer hip. And each exhale, twist and bend those elbows and amplify your heart. And each inhale, hug the hips in, hug the knees in. Then when you're ready, inhale, come forward and come to your comfortable seat. Flow the thighs downward. And with the palms face down, one more time, notice the exhalation. Let the inhalation be natural and bring yourself back, as we initiated practice, to the Kapalabhati breath. Inhales natural, exhales clear, exaggerated. Deep inhale. Hold the breath for 5 seconds.